My fiancé lies all the texts she sent to different men, at the end I have two. Hi everyone, welcome back to another Reddit cheating story. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell so you won't miss another cheating story goes live. Now, where to start? I was with her for 3 years, 2 as a couple and 1 as my fiancé. Her, 22F, let's call her Juliet to make it easier, and I'm a 26M. November 2019. I had the sneaking suspicion that something was going on. She was in the shower one night and I took a look through her phone, thinking my paranoia would be put to rest with a quick look. What I found was heartbreaking. She had a Bumble dating profile with multiple explicit messages to men, among other things. That was the first time I think I've ever had a true anxiety attack. I was shaking and I was terrified. I was able to calm myself down to pretend to fall asleep that night. When she was out, I took her phone into the next room and did a deeper dig into her Bumble account and Snapchat. On Snapchat, guys that she swore were just good friends were receiving very explicit messages and photos. Nothing nude, but they may as well have been. I screenshot everything and sent them to me as evidence and woke her up at 3 a.m. to talk. I called her out on her cheating and she said it wasn't like that. She wouldn't say much more than that and she had to go back to sleep for an early shift at work. The next day was absolute hell for me. All of the certainty I had in us, in our relationship, was in question. Any small task was like asking me to run a marathon. We decided to talk things through when I got home. She was sitting on our bed ready for me when I got home. I asked her what she had to say for herself. She said, "I don't consider it cheating because nothing physical ever happened." I told her, "I can't tell if you're just lying or if you're just that stupid." I read out the explicit texts between her and the guys, asking her time and time again how she doesn't consider that cheating. How if she found these things on my phone, she would be reacting the same way. She broke down and said she made a huge mistake. She begged me to stay and give her a chance to show you how much I love you. I did. She got up and was texting someone, let's call him Matt for reference. She asked if she could continue to text him. I didn't find anything incriminating between the two of them. I told her as long as she promises that they were just friends. And I asked her if I could trust her. She told me, he is only a friend. And you can trust me. December 2019. We were having a great couple of months. We were starting to get into a groove as a couple again. Juliet and I went back to my hometown for Christmas to spend some time with my folks. She ended up confiding in my brother's fiancé that I caught her talking to other guys and it was not a big deal. And he blew it out of proportion. And now, of course, I'm furious. She tells a blatant lie to someone I am very close to try and win sympathy points. And once one family member knows, the rest of the family soon follows. So, something that was supposed to be worked out between the two of us as a couple was now known by my entire family. March 28, 2020. More of a specific date here, but it's specific for a reason. This was the date of our wedding, or what was supposed to be the date of our wedding. COVID threw a wrench into our wedding plans and we had to postpone it. Deep down I was almost thankful. Before, she convinced me to go through with the wedding, despite all of her red flags. This was going to give us time to work on our relationship and become stronger. The morning or March 28th, I woke up sweating. I was having a full-blown panic attack. I convinced myself that just taking a quick look at her phone would give me peace of mind, so that I could go to sleep. Once again, I was wrong. Matt, the nothing but a friend guy, had messages about her body. He talked about how he missed touching her and the passionate nights they would have together. I just about broke. I woke her up and walked her out into the living room and called her out. I showed her the evidence and asked if she had fucked him. She said, "Why did you have to go through my phone?" And shortly after that, she admitted to her physical cheating. I said some really nasty things to her. It was the most furious, betrayed, and absolute shitty I've felt in my entire life. I saw my life crack and shatter before my eyes. I broke up her with at the spot and told her to move Eve out of my place. I packed up my things, we were at her mom's place for the weekend, and left that minute. September 2020. It has now been almost 6 months since everything happened, but it feels like yesterday. Juliet is back living with her mother and I moved back to live with my family, at least during COVID. It has been the worst 6 months of my life. I have been more depressed, more uncertain, and the most suicidal I've been in my entire life. And because COVID is still a thing, there isn't much besides online dating that is available to try and move on. I'm literally stuck in limbo. I know this turned out to be a story, a rant, and asking for advice all at the same time. But some of these threads have been really helpful for my healing, and I'm hoping to get some extra support. Much love. Best comments from community. Oh God. The classic "how you found out about my lying and cheating is the real crime" here. My ex-wife says the same thing. Give it time, man. There's no timeline for mourning. It's like a death, only the other person is still alive. But it's the death of the life you thought you lived. The person you thought you knew, adored and trusted 100% has died. Only to be replaced with a sociopathic doppelganger. I also had suicidal thoughts when my wife was having an affair practically right to my face and insulted my intelligence by claiming it was all in my head and she and this guy were just friends. That was 3 years ago and it still sometimes hurts. I did marry her with the intention of being married until the day I died, so the hurt of her putting herself and her justifications for cheating before our sons and me still bug me. At this point it's more about how delusional she is about the whole thing. My advice? I can only tell you what worked for me. Seeing a shrink, working out, and a shitload of cannabis. It's not easy, but it does start to fade. Plus, since you guys never had kids, you don't have to see her anymore. Which I'm kind of jealous about. Sorry to hear about your troubles. I was seriously lucky with how everything turned out. I could have married her and then discovered. I could have bought a house and had kids and then found out. I honestly don't even know what I would have done if I would have found out then. I may have been in too deep to make any big decisions, which is probably what she was clinging to. It doesn't have to be limbo. Pain is always going to be there, but suffering is a choice. I know online dating is what people have the reaction to turn to in these times, but honestly it's a crapshoot and not good for anyone's self-esteem when they are trying to recover. Taking a break from relationships and looking for hobbies is way better. And sorry to hear about the time wasted and your emotions being toyed with, but I'm not sorry about you dodging that bullet and the inevitable train wreck that is going to be her 30s. I think Matt is going to regret ever meeting Juliet because she's a nightmare. Can I also add, this is also a great time to take a deep breath and think hard and deeply about what you want out of your professional life, and plot out steps to get where you want to go in that half of your life. The feeling of being in charge of your own life will help. And even though it's not going to go according to that specific roadmap, as a famous general once said, plans are nothing. Planning is everything. Yeah, online dating has been an absolute nightmare. All I'm finding are women I would never want to be around or bots that are trying to squeeze money out of me. Dating apps are geared to favor women, and it has gotten more and more toxic. I'm not on any apps as of now. It did a number on my self-esteem. When I found out about her physically cheating on me, she told Matt that I knew. She was worried I might go after him, and I seriously considered it for a bit. They no longer talk as far as I know. But I don't give a shit anymore, so. And I am lucky enough to be working in the field that I love for a fair salary. It's something I'm really proud of, but it's been an adjustment working from home. It's hard not having that social aspect, especially with being so alone. However, it does help me avoid any and all questions about Juliet and I that could turn awkward and send me spinning. Thank you for the podcast recommendation. I will add it to my list. Only select people know why the wedding was actually called off. My immediate family, mom, dad, brother, sister, best man, best friend. And her immediate family, her mom, sister, brother and grandmother. No one outside them know the real reason it was called off. I'm honestly surprised she told her family what she did. She owned up to it and I confirmed this with her mother, whom I was very close with. Whoa, that is some crazy turn of events. With hindsight, I am sure the first time you caught her messaging other people and she put herself on Bumble, it would be been best to have ended it there. It shows lack of respect, and once someone shows you that, it's pretty rare that it can go back to respectful. I am talking from experience. Sorry to hear your mind tank is putting nasty suicidal thoughts in front of you, but please don't do anything silly. This is a hard time for you and this is the breakup wave you must go through. Like bereavement, it is a time for processing because you have just lost a big attachment you had. Keep busy, complete Netflix, watch crazy YouTube videos, start a blog about something you are passionate about, focus on anything but her, because at the end of the day, your future self will be really happy you dodged the cheating bullet. P.S. Maybe don't date yet, process these thoughts and feelings first. Concentrate on making yourself the best version of yourself. It was a crazy turn of events. And I agree. In hindsight, I should have broke up with her when I first discovered her dating profile and those Snapchats. But when she told me she was truly sorry and begged me, I believed her. I looked in her eyes and I saw sincerity. She's a good actress. I think I'm over that suicidal hill. Time has passed and I'm starting to heal, very slowly. My family and friends have been my rock. I am considering seeing a therapist, virtually, of course. I'm just trying to do everything I can to heal and learn. It just pains me to know that I did everything for her. I sacrificed and put above everything else, and I was still tossed aside. It's a long climb on the hill of my self-image and self-worth. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell for any future cheating stories.